Hey everyone, in this short video lesson, I'm going to talk about the triangle. No, I'm not a geometry teacher. I'm not going to talk about that kind of triangle. I'm talking about one specific triangle, a triangle that I feel is the most important and powerful triangle that's ever existed. That's right. You've probably guessed I'm talking about the rhetorical triangle. What is the rhetorical triangle? Well, you might wonder, what is rhetoric? Rhetoric, simply put, is a way to talk about the art of persuading people in writing. When we say rhetoric, we mean the art, the study of persuasive techniques, persuading others with words. So let's look at the rhetorical triangle. There are three main components whenever you're talking about a rhetorical situation or a situation where someone finds themselves in a place where they want to engage in the rhetorical process. They want to try to use words to persuade others. There are three components that are always present. There's an author. You have to have an author, a person writing the message. The speaker could be an author, someone giving a speech, someone writing a opinion piece in a newspaper. Those are the authors engaging in the rhetorical process. Every author, when they are engaging in a rhetorical process, they need a purpose. They need a reason why they're writing in the first place. What are they trying to accomplish? Commonly, that means they're trying to change someone's mind about something. Give them new information that can change their worldview, change their approach, call them to action to do something differently to affect meaningful change in the world. And of course, that implies that they also have an audience, and not just all people that might read their work, but a specific idea of whom they are trying to reach in particular. What is their target audience? Who do they want to talk to specifically to change their thinking on a particular issue? So those are the three components you have. You have your author, you have a purpose for engaging in the rhetorical process, and then that author also has a target audience in mind. But there's more to it than that. There are also rhetorical appeals. Once an author has a purpose and an audience, they have to think about how do they reach that audience. And there are three main types of rhetorical appeals that closely associate with the 3 points on the rhetorical triangle. The first one is ethos, or an appeal to the author's character or credibility. So that's where you might say, I'm a doctor, I've been studying this for 35 years, I know what I'm talking about, you should listen to me for those reasons. That is an ethical appeal, or an appeal to the credibility of the author, or the Greek word for that would be ethos. Then there's logos, or an appeal to logic and reason. This is when you will say, facts or statistics back up what I'm trying to get across. I think we should do this. Studies show that this empirically observed outcome occurred when this policy change was implemented in a small setting, and therefore we should expand this policy. It only makes sense because the numbers suggest that this beneficial outcome has transpired. That would be an appeal to logic and reason. And lastly, there's pathos, an appeal to emotion or an appeal to someone's values. This is when you're making a higher level appeal. You're saying maybe it doesn't make sense on a logical level, or maybe it does, but even if it didn't make sense logically, we should still do it because this would be the right thing to do. This is just what matters from an emotional standpoint. How could we let, as humans, this occur? You might see an emotional appeal when someone is trying to say we need to expand the social safety net because a country should not let its children suffer. That is an appeal to emotion. It might be more costly to expand that social safety net, so it wouldn't necessarily make sense from a logical standpoint, purely in a numbers sense, but it would be an appeal to a higher value or an emotional appeal, because thinking of some other human suffering, that makes people instinctively feel bad. So you are appealing to their emotions, to their higher sense of right and wrong, regardless of what's practical or what's logical. And that would be an appeal to emotions or values, or an emotional appeal. And that might be one of the most common types of rhetorical appeals that you'll see, because humans are by nature emotional creatures. So that's the rhetorical triangle. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. That's all for now.